Hey guys, Hitman89 here. I hope you're doing great. And since Xbox Live Gold is no longer required to play free-to-play online games, I thought this would be the perfect time to share with you guys the 10 best free-to-play games you should play in 2021. I did my best to pick the latest games, for the most part, so I'd appreciate it if you could show your support by hitting the like button. Oh, and last time I checked, only 5% of you are subscribed to my channel, so how about we change that? Thank you. Okay, now we can get started. The first game I want to show you is called Enlisted, and it's a next-gen squad-based World War II FPS. Even though there are a lot of soldiers on the battlefield, in reality it's a 10v10 game where each player gets a squad and they only control one soldier at a time, so the rest are controlled by the AI. By the way, this is made by the same guys who made Cuisine Royale, which turned into Cursed. Oh, and don't worry, I won't be having any Battle Royale games on this list. Enlisted's got ray tracing, vehicles, and terrible animations. I mean, at least there are destructible environments. Just a little bit though, we're not talking Battlefield level, but it's better than having no destruction at all. Enlisted is available on PS5, Xbox Series X and PC, so give it a shot if you can. At number 2 we have something quite rare, cause Spellforce 3 Versus Edition is a free-to-play RTS game, and what makes it unique is that it's got some RPG elements too. For instance, your hero has an inventory and a skill tree, and there is even a merchant in town that sells good gear and potions. I honestly love this game, but I suck at it. Seriously, even the CPU on very easy keeps shitting on me. If you're old enough to remember Battle for Middle-earth 1 and 2, this is about as good as those games, except like I said, it's free to play and it's got RPG elements, so if you have a decent PC, go ahead and get it. Now let me show you a game that's available on console too. PES does two things better than FIFA: realistic gameplay and a free-to-play version that comes out every year a couple of months after the full game is released. Oh, and I'm pretty sure some people are gonna be like, no one cares about sports games, man. Let me tell you something, even though I don't like it, FIFA is one of the best selling games every year, plus I always make sure to have all kinds of games on my list, so shut up and let me finish. While waiting for PES 2022 to come out, which will be 100% next gen by the way, you could play PES 2021 Season Update Lite for free. It's got 5 clubs to choose from in exhibition mode, or you could play My Club and build your own team. Sadly, online multiplayer requires a PS Plus or an Xbox Live Gold membership, so if you don't have one of those, you'll have to play against the CPU, or you could just play with a friend on the same console. If you're not too broke to have a second controller, that is. Such a piece of shit. Okay, let's move on to the fourth game. Genshin Impact just got a PS5 upgrade, so I thought I'd put it on my list. And in case you're one of the very few people who've never heard of this game, let me describe it to you real quick. Take Breath of the Wild, strip it from its sick physics and complex AI, make it free to play, and you get Genshin Impact. Oh, and speaking of which, if you have a decent PC and you wanna play the real Zelda Breath of the Wild for free, get Cemu, the Wii U emulator, and look up tutorials on how to use it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you don't have a gaming PC and you found this part useless. So you can play Genshin Impact solo or in co-op, but you and your friends will have to reach Adventure Rank 16 before you can play together, which takes some time. Moving on to the next game, Rogue Company is a 4v4 team-based third-person shooter. It received the next-gen upgrade earlier this year, so now it runs at 120 frames per second on PS5 and Series X. But honestly, even if you have a base PS4 or a base Xbox One, don't worry, cause the game just runs great on all platforms and it supports crossplay. When my brother came over, we played this game a little bit. I was on PS4 and he was on PC cause he's too stuck up to play a shooter with a controller, but that's a story for another day. Anyways, I've also played Rogue Company on PS5 with random people. It's really fun to play and it's perfect for when you want to jump in, play a couple of rounds and then go on with your day, which is something you simply cannot do with the 6th game. I know it's old and almost everyone knows about it, but I just had to recommend Path of Exile over the horrible mess that is Magic Legends. And it's also a great game to play while waiting for Diablo 2 Resurrected. For those of you who don't know, Path of Exile is an extremely addicting ARPG. I had to uninstall it twice cause every time I'm like, hey, you should play some Path of Exile cause you probably need some more footage for your video. So I re-downloaded and played the whole day, even though I know I have way more footage than I need. All I'm trying to say is, this is one of the best free-to-play games of all time, and if you still haven't played it, now is a great time to do so since it just got a new expansion. At number 7 we have a different type of RPG, cause Bless Unleashed is an MMORPG designed specifically for console. The footage you're looking at was captured on PS5, but it's basically running the PS4 version in backwards compatibility. Oh, and don't worry PC users, it's also coming to PC later this year, even though I'm sure you're not worried because there are tons of MMORPGs on PC. Oh, and I really hope they also release a next-gen version because as you can see, the game looks and runs like shit. So on Bless Unleashed you have 5 classes to choose from with a detailed character creation menu, and the combat system isn't bad, it's fast, it's combo based, and that's all I have to say about this game. So let's move on to the next one. Rocket League went free to play near the end of 2020, and now that Xbox Live Gold is no longer required to play free to play online games, everyone can play online together, regardless of their platform, since Rocket League has cross-play support. And if you don't feel like playing online, you can play in split screen on PC, PlayStation and Xbox with up to 3 friends, if you have that many friends. I'm not trying to be mean, by the way, I'm just trying to make you laugh, okay? At number 9 we have a completely different game. If CSGO and Overwatch had a baby, Valorant would be it. Moving on to the next game. Just kidding. This is an objective-based shooter, and even if you suck at aiming, you'll still be able to enjoy the game, but for that, you will need to have a PC, because Valorant is currently only available on PC, even though the devs said they'll be bringing it to console, but they haven't said anything since, so I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Going from a PC exclusive to a console exclusive, because Vigor is currently available on Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch, with no plans of coming to PC. This is a looter shooter that takes place in Norway and where the goal is to get resources to upgrade your shelter. Now, what I really hate about Vigor is that it runs at 30 frames per second, even on PS5 and Series X, because the devs, apparently, they just want to keep it even with those fucking Nintendo Switch players and they're shitty. Just kidding. No, seriously, fuck them. Okay, I'ma stop. And even though it might look like a battle royale game, it's not, because you could just take whatever you can and head to the nearest extraction point. You don't have to kill anyone or be the last man standing. So if you like being a little bitch, go ahead and get Vigor. And that's gonna be it for my top 10 free-to-play games you should play in 2021. I did my best not to include any Battle Royale games in order to offer you guys something different, so if you appreciate that, hit the like button. By the way, I have a special announcement for the real fans, you know, the ones who watch until the end. So I've been uploading 3 videos a month on another channel. It's called Buy Games, and you'll find the link in the description and in the comments section as well. So I'd really appreciate it if you could check it out and subscribe. This way, with those 3 videos a month plus the one on my channel, you'll have a video from me every week. Thank you for the support, seriously appreciate it a lot. It's been Hitman89, see you guys very soon.
When I wake up, I don't feel like I got the fire inside, but I gotta keep it going one day at a time. Yeah, the grass always greener, but I'm